All right, let's turn now to crypto. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum rallying this week. Investors looking to Washington, D.C., hopeful that regulation and new products potentially could expand the industry's mainstream appeal. Joining us now to lay out what's on the table for crypto in Washington is our very own Jennifer Schonberger. Jen.
Good morning, Shauna. That's right. The crypto world hopeful for some gains this week in Washington as it pushes for a new regulatory framework and approval for an Ether ETF. Today, the House set to vote for the very first time on comprehensive crypto legislation called the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, or as it's known for short, FIT21. This legislation, which House Financial Services Chair Patrick McHenry has been pushing for the better part of a year, would establish the Commodities Futures Trading Commission as the leading regulator of digital assets. There would be clear divisions for what the CFTC will regulate and what would fall under the purview of the Securities and Exchange Commission, which has vehemently cracked down on the crypto industry with a litany of enforcement actions. This legislation would also establish consumer protections and bar the sort of commingling of customer funds that played a role in the undoing of the crypto exchange FTX back in 2022. Now, Republican lawmakers say this legislation will bring clarity for the crypto industry, but most Democrats, led by House Financial Services Committee ranking member Maxine Waters, oppose the bill. Waters warns the bill would effectively deregulate most crypto by removing them from the purview of the SEC. In a rare rebuke, SEC Chair Gary Gensler put out a lengthy statement this morning on the legislation, saying, quote, it would create new regulatory gaps and undermine decades of precedent regarding the oversight of investment contracts, putting investors and capital markets at immeasurable risk. The House expected to vote on this legislation around 5 p.m. this afternoon, where it is expected to pass the chamber, largely thanks to support from Republicans and a handful of Democrats. But prospects in the Senate remain dimmer. McHenry told reporters late yesterday afternoon that he's hopeful that a strong vote tally will galvanize the Senate to take a fresh look at this legislation. Meanwhile, elsewhere here in Washington, the SEC reportedly facing a deadline of May 23rd, that's tomorrow, for approval or denial of an Ether ETF. When I asked the SEC for comment, they said, we do not comment on individual filings.